All right, it's looking like it wants to break to the upside. We're just going to be patient though. We are on an uptrend, so my bias is bias, but you guys know I never marry my bias. So if it pushes up to our entry, I'll feel comfortable taking it. It retrace. Can we get a second push? Can we get a second push? That's all we're looking for. It's holding below the level. We're getting a push. If we push in the entry, I'll take my buy. Come on. Cash respecting that level. Is respecting that level, which I'm okay with, guys. We're not in a rush to take a trade. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just like to wait for the second push. Imagine if I would have just gotten in right away. It definitely would have been a fake out and we would have lost instantly. So that's why I always say wait for the second push. Let it show you some volume, some motivation to get into trade. So yes, it's just holding back in the zone. I'll let you guys know when we are ready to get in. We're coming back up. Second push, and we are in. We're going to be in on the second push. Come on.
Order filled.
We are in. Stops here. All right, guys. Moment of truth. We're going to try to hold. 1-to-1 stops going to break even per usual. We already know how that goes. We got a nice close. I'm expecting price to continue up, but we just got to play it by ear. Let's go. Come on. It's retesting that previous resistance. Now I believe it will be support.
Order filled.
Okay, and we took a L. All right, y'all. So we took a L today, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm okay with that, and I believe that I'm done for the day. This is very indecisive market. We were on an uptrend. I was looking to take buys. I stuck with my plan. I waited for the second push. I waited for the retrace, and you know we had good volume coming in, but price just seems like it is a little unsure. And it has been pretty rough price action in March. So I'm just not going to force any trades because I was thinking about taking an entry right here, but I don't like where my stop loss is. And this is normally how I just like to trade. I don't like to move my stops and do all this extra stuff, especially when we're not just getting sure direction. Also, I was looking in the group Discord, and basically everybody's getting cooked. Some people lost on YM or US30. Everybody lost on NQ, so I'm just going to take it as a, you know, this is just not a good day. And that's something that is a win to me because, yes, I may have taken an L, but my losses are way smaller than my wins. So I know I can always come back tomorrow or another day and just, you know, crush it. But we're going to be talking about dealing with losses just in life in general. I feel like this is kind of like a sign for me to, you know, touch more on that for you guys. But I'll break down why I took the trade really quickly. I seen that price had been trending up. We're making higher highs, higher lows. So my initial bias is always buys according to that. If it would have broke below, I definitely would have taken sales. I would have had a bit more of a cautious entry. So I maybe would have entered maybe like down here a little bit more. But I would have been okay with that. But yeah, we saw everything we looked for. We saw volume. We saw it break out to our entry. It retraced, broke back out to our entry after the retracement. It was a setup that I just take every day and I win with quite a bit. So, I mean, I'm not upset. I stuck to my plan. I didn't feel comfortable taking this trade when it came back up here. I'm glad I didn't, because look at the result. Seems like it just wants to range. And yeah, so we're going to go about our day. We're going to do everything we need to do today. And that's one thing that I want you guys to understand. Like in life, you got to know when to accept a loss, because it's just part of the game. There's not a single soul who is a perfect trader. Like Mamba FX, he's basically like a mentor to me to a degree. You know, I learned my strategy from him. He lost in the group. So it's just one of those things where, you know, a guy who does this every single day for a living, you know, he lost. It's just part of the game. Doesn't make him a bad trader. Doesn't make me a bad trader. Doesn't make you a bad trader when you lose. The only thing that makes you a bad trader is you just not following your rules and you giving up on yourself. Other than that, we're good, guys. We're going to get our day started. We're going to get the vlog started. Hopefully this video really inspires you guys. It really helps you guys out mentally, because I know it's tough taking a loss, especially when, you know, you want to get payouts, you want to get funded and all these other things. So yeah, guys, we're just going to stay on the board. That's what's going to keep us around for a long time, us having that discipline and knowing to walk away. But yeah, that's it. So we took a loss today, and I'm a very honest person. I don't try to pretend like losses don't affect me. A lot of traders are like, oh, you know, I'm stoic to the loss. The loss doesn't faze me. I do not like losing. And I understand that that's part of the game. And also understand that losing is something that helps us become winners. You know, majority of people who are winners had major losses. And I just try to look at the losses as lessons. You know, you're not going to win every time, like, especially in trading. You could be one of the greatest traders in the world, and, you know, you're just going to lose sometime. But I also think that, you know, reflects on life with all of us. You know, like, we have to go through hardships to make us stronger. You know, I heard a long time ago that we have like the yin and the yang, and I'm starting to understand that more and more, because there's really no such thing as like good and bad necessarily. It's all perception. But I know that there would be no such thing as good without bad, you know, because if life was just always good, things were just always like happy, you were always winning all the time, you wouldn't know what good would be. It would get almost, I guess, boring, right? Like, I think about the times where in my life I've really wanted something, and I think this goes for all of us. We'll really want something, then once we get it, it just becomes super like normal and monotonous to us. It becomes super like, I don't know, just average. It's just something we become used to. So I know you guys are probably thinking, what does this have to do with losing trades? Well, what I'm basically trying to say is you should be grateful for the losses just like you're grateful for the wins. Like, yeah, you might lose some money or you might have a small setback, but it just makes you appreciate everything more. It makes you, you know, soak up knowledge. It really will transform your life, because the only difference I believe between people who are successful and people who are not is the people who are successful, whenever they lose, it doesn't feel good. I'm sure they don't like it, but at the same time, it gives them fuel. It gives them motivation to come back stronger. And that's just really what I feel right now. And it'd be amazing if you guys could embody that same feeling, because instead of getting discouraged, instead of saying things like, oh, I'm not a good trader, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm gonna switch strategies, or getting mad and crashing and out, there's just it's no reward to that. I think about all the times in my life where, you know, I crashed out or I handled a situation immaturely or just out of emotion, and it always backfired. What does that lead to in trading? That leads to things like trying to revenge trade, or you're trying to up your lot size or your contract size to make that money back quickly. And then if it reverses on you, now you're in another loss. Now you're in a deeper mental rut. Um, in life, sometimes you're just going to lose. And it's the same thing with rejection. I used to look at rejection as if somebody rejected me, whether it was a girl, whether it was a job opportunity, oh, I wasn't good enough, or it would affect like my self-esteem. And I'll be the first to tell you, rejection just means not right now. Rejection doesn't always mean like never. You know what I'm saying? Just like today, I took a L today. That doesn't mean tomorrow I'm going to take another L. That doesn't mean next week I'm going to have a bad week. That just means, you know, it's back to the drawing board and we just got to learn from our mistakes. I just think there's a big negative connotation on losing or getting rejected or things not panning out the way that we want them to pan out. But that's what makes us stronger, and that's what makes us who we are at the end of the day. I don't think we should be defined by our winners. I think we should be defined by our losers, because it's easy for you to, you know, win and look good and be able to handle your emotions. But what can you really say about yourself when you're losing? You know, I think about like even relationships. You know, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's very easy to love someone when things are going good, but how about when things are going bad? You know, are you able to still have that same love? Are you still able to be patient? Are you still able to look at that person the same and treat that person the same? And it's like I said, I always look at life and trading as like a mirror to each other, because yes, easy to be happy. It's easy to, you know, want to take more trades when everything's going good, but how do you handle those losses? And for me, I'm still finding myself as a trader, you know, like I'm never going to try to sell you guys the image that I'm this perfect trader and I'm so experienced and I'm so talented. Like, I'm still going through the same thing everybody else goes through. And that's like a main reason I'm making these videos and starting this channel, because I'm here to document my journey and hopefully I can bring and inspire some people while I do that. You know, like that's my main thing I think about every day. How am I going to impact the world? You know, how am I going to leave my mark? I believe we're all here and we all have the ability to leave our mark and impact the world. But yeah, if you had a losing day or you're on a losing streak right now, whatever the case may be, just know it's temporary. And like I spoke on the video yesterday, what you think up here is what's going to manifest. Like me personally, I know I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to trade tomorrow. I might even trade London, not London, but Tokyo session tonight on my CFD account. And I'm just trying to grow my revenue. I'm trying to grow my capital. I have multiple accounts and I'm really just trying to lock in and hone in on my strategy, getting the repetitions, you know, figuring out why did I lose, or trying to figure out what I need to do to minimize my losses. Even when you lose, there can be some winning involved, because, you know, you can cut down on how much you lost, you know, you can mitigate risk. And yeah, guys, it's just like real life. I always like to connect the examples. Like, let's say in the past you dealt with people who weren't the greatest to you, whether it's family, friends, relationship, or whatever. You know, moving forward, you know how you want to be treated. You know how you want to maneuver in different situations. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody who didn't value you, you know, next relationship, okay, I'm going to get with somebody who values me. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with trading. Okay, I over risked. That contract size was too big. Okay, this time I'm gonna cut back on that contract size. I'm going to raise my risk reward. I'm going to, you know, wait a little longer before I take that entry. And yeah, it's just all about growth and improvement. And I'm okay with taking the losses because I know that it's going to make me a better trader. You know, whenever I see a certain setup, I can look at it and be like, okay, last time I took this setup, this is what happened. So yeah, the real moral is just don't get too in your head about your losses or your rejections or anything that goes against what you want it to do, because they are put in your life to make you better. You know, I try to look at life as, what is this doing for me? Not why is this happening to me, but why is this happening for me? Like today I lost. Okay, what about this loss is going to make me better? And I'm definitely going to look back at the footage and try to analyze, okay, what could I have done better? How could I have entered better? How could I cut losses sooner? Because I took like a 1K loss. And that's just part of the game. You know, I'll come back tomorrow. I'll hit a 2 grand trade. You know, that's my mindset and that's what I'm believing. But yeah, don't think any less of yourself if you're losing. Don't think that it's the end of the world. Don't think that you are talented at what you do, because you've seen yourself win, and only thing you can do is replicate it again and again. You already have the tools. It's not your strategy. It's not that you're not a good trader or you're never going to become profitable. It's the simple fact that you are going through what it takes to get you through that next level. We always see people at the finish line, but we don't see what they went through to get there. A lot of people are going through a lot of hardships to reach their goals, and that's what separates them from the average person. You know, the average person, they're going to give up when it gets rough. They're going to throw in the towel because it's easier in the short term to just be complacent. It's easier in the short term to just say, you know what, it's not for me, I give up. But I don't ever intend on giving up, and I don't think that you guys should either. You know, this is supposed to be some encouragement for you guys. I really want to see you guys win, and like I said, as long as we stay focused, as long as we stay committed and we believe in ourselves, everything is going to work out just fine. But I hope this video really inspires some of you guys. I hope it really, you know, encourages you to keep going. I know there's times you want to quit and give up, but no matter what happens, you can't afford to quit and give up. You don't want to look back next year this time and wonder what would have been, you know? But yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I will see you on the next one. Peace.